What's up, everybody? I'm Lamika, and this is The Real About Entrepreneurship. And I am often asked, how do you fund a business? It is a very popular question. It is one that I asked myself when I first started, and I had to figure it out. So I want to share with you 3 ways to be able to fund your new business. All right, so let's talk about how to fund your new business. I first want to start this off by saying, if you have a day job, do not quit, okay? You can go to another video where I've talked about this, but I am definitely a believer in not leaving your day job or not leaving your job when you are starting a business, and to use that job as a way to help you fund that business. It will make it so much easier. And I say that because I've had experience with it. When I started Hi Goddess, I was working a full-time job, and it did a whole lot for me, not just from a capital standpoint, but I've always had jobs that I've traveled. And so when I was first building Hi Goddess in 2007, I was traveling a lot, and it allowed me to travel around and to be able to meet people that will become my future customers, to meet with my suppliers. And these were all things that I didn't necessarily have to pay for because I was already there doing business. And so a lot of the places where I needed to go to have my, at that time, jeans made was where I was having to travel in order for me to do work. I was in places like Seattle, in Chicago, in New York, in LA. And there are a lot of tall women there, and I was able to make connections with a lot of them. So there are so many reasons that I suggest that you keep your day job. So throughout this whole conversation, I will be talking about, make sure that if you do have a day job, don't leave it. Use it as a source of income to make it easier, or use it as a source to be able to fund your business. The first way that I know of to fund your business would be self-funding it. When I first started Hi Goddess, I self-funded it because a lot of the things that I know now, it took me forever to figure them out, and I didn't have the information that I have now. But I still would suggest you self-funding it, because this allows you to operate efficiently and to be able to get some sort of working capital so that you know what you're going to be doing in the beginning. Ways that you can self-fund it, or ways that you can, raise the money to be able to self-fund it. I've done the 100 days. I did a video where I talked about the 100 days challenge, where you can save $5,000 in 100 days. You can save $10,000 in 100 days. And I've done both, where I've saved the $5,000 and I've saved the $10,000. And that made a big difference in me wanting to start a Turo business. Now, I didn't start the Turo business, but I did save the money, and I was able to buy a car for cash because I had done the 100 days method in thinking that I was going to move forward with doing a Turo business. So self-funding is definitely a way, and having a job definitely helps you being able to self-fund a project or self-fund a new business. All right. So the second way to be able to fund a new business is through business credit. Yes, you can get business credit with a new business. I've made a video on how to set up a new business. Be sure to check that out. I'll be sure to list it in the notes so that you can go back and look for what you need to do in order to set up your business. But business credit is definitely a way for you to be able to fund your new business. Now, the important thing about business credit is that you have to have your personal credit in order. I am not one to say how to start a business with bad credit, because it presents so many challenges that if you will just fix your personal credit first, obviously you can still work on getting, the business if you're able to fund it. Like I said before, self-fund it. But if you are able to get business credit, in order for you to get business credit, you've got to work on your personal credit. So get your personal credit in line so that you can get business credit. Now, if you've already got great credit, good credit, great credit, then business credit is definitely an option for you to be able to fund your new business. And I will be doing other videos on funding your business with business credit. And my goal with this channel is to bring you on people who can actually help you do what you want to do. So I will be bringing someone on that has helped me build my business credit so that you can do the same thing. But before you build that business credit, make sure that your personal credit is in order so that you can use business credit in order for you to start your new business. So that is the second way. First way is through personal funds. The second way is through business credit. And then the third way is through crowdfunding. I have done crowdfunding before, and the crowdfunding was actually great. So the way that I recommend crowdfunding, especially is if you have a products-based business, crowdfunding is great. I used it. I was well into Hype Goddess when I decided to, or when I came across, crowdfunding, and I used the Kickstarter platform for my crowdfunding campaign. And I think I was able to raise a little over $20,000 for the project that I was working on at the time. And that was to introduce a maxi dress. I wish I had done it way sooner, but I'm glad I did it when I did. And so it was a lot of work. If you're going to do a crowdfunding campaign, it does take a lot of work in preparing from a marketing perspective, because it is all about letting your audience know that you have this campaign going out there. Please don't think that because you put it on the Kickstarter platform or you put it on these other platforms that you're going to be able to raise the money. It was a lot of work planning out the video for it, and doing the marketing for it. And I had already built a email list. So I had a large email list that I was able to send to, because I had already been in business for quite a while before I actually did a Kickstarter campaign. So if you're going to raise funds for a new business utilizing a crowdfunding campaign, then you definitely want to start building your email list or your text list, and you want to start doing marketing, and preferably marketing where you're able to communicate with your audience when you want to. Because things like while Instagram and Facebook and those types of things are really good, you don't know if people are able to see your post. So if you're starting to market for your business, then I suggest you start building a list, because you can take that information and then you can use it to be able to build your crowdfunding for your crowdfunding campaign. So there are 3 ways for you to fund it. You can self-fund it, you can do business credit, and you can do crowdfunding. And I've done all 3 of them, and they all work. It just really depends on what type of business that you're starting and where you are in that business. Like I said, with crowdfunding, there are some things that you've got to do in advance of doing crowdfunding. So it's technically not startup money, but if you want to now proof of concept, because you've done the basics, you've created, for me, I had already created a maxi dress, but I wanted to see if this particular maxi dress would sell. And if I could get them in stores, then that is what I was utilizing the crowdfunding campaign for. So be sure to check out the other videos that I have, and you can link to that. If you need to set up your business, go ahead and watch that video right here. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section below. And I hope that answers your questions on how to get funding for your business.